For this project, all I needed was a curtain panel, which I already had on hand, some pre-made bias tape, and some iron-on adhesive. First, I grabbed my curtain panel and folded it in half lengthwise. Then I used some quilting clips to clip the edges together. I laid the folded curtain on the floor with the fold facing me, then measured down about 7 inches from the top of the curtain and made a mark with an air erasable marker. Then I used my large ruler and made marks from the initial mark down at a 45-degree angle until I got a little over halfway across the curtain. I connected the marks, then made a slightly curved line going the opposite direction about 6 inches. I continued this pattern until I couldn't anymore. Then I used some sharp scissors and cut out everything that I had traced. Next, I unfolded the curtain and started applying bias tape. Starting on the left side of the triangle, I opened up the bias tape with the fold facing me, then slid the bottom portion under the curtain. Then I placed a strip of the iron-on adhesive onto the curtain and followed the directions on the box. At the curve, I took my time and moved the fabric around so I could attach the bias tape without any creases or wrinkles. At the point, I carefully snipped off the bias tape at an angle to line up with the fabric. Then I lined up the bias tape with some overhang. Then I repeated the process of attaching the bias tape. I then lined my floor and placed the curtain on top. Then I mixed up some fabric stiffener with some water, about a 1-to-1 ratio, then used a paintbrush to apply it to the bias tape and the triangle-shaped pieces of fabric. I allowed the curtain to dry overnight. Then I made and attached a bow at the top of the curtain with some hot glue. Then I hung up my tree-shaped curtains, and I think they are so cute and a great way to add a bit of holiday cheer to my home.
If you have some bare windows that could use some added interest, here's what I did by simply heading outdoors first. I am measuring the width of my chosen windows, then cutting some grapevine branches to at least that length. I'm now selecting a support stake and cutting it down to the inside of each window. I'm cutting enough branches to create a small bundle for each window. Testing their size, I'm holding one bunch in a window, then penciling in where I'd like them to hang. Working with that pencil mark, I'm screwing in a closet dowel bracket, then adding one to the other side of the window at the same height, then positioning the support stake inside the brackets. Back to the branches, I'm ensuring one end of the branches are flush. Using some thin florist's wire, I'm placing the wire under the left and right sides of the branches, leaving lots of overage to work with. I'm now loosely twisting the wire to bundle up each of the sides of the branches, then double checking that the branch ends are flush so they will fit. Carrying the tied bundle to the windows, I'm using the wire overage to twist the bundled branches to the support stake. After attaching, I'm using some filler branches to beef up the bundles, making them appear as full as possible to resemble a twig roll-up line. By adding some branches slightly longer than the inside of the window frame, it causes the branch to bend into place and fit tight, ending up helping to further support the bundles. And the finished result is a nature-inspired twiggy roll blind that adds warmth and interest to each window without keeping out any sunlight.
Let's turn this old window box into something a little more festive for Christmas. I started by planting 2 mini pine trees on each side of the window box. Then I placed some cedar and pine sprigs all around the center of the box. You can actually get cut Christmas tree branches for free at Lowe's Home Improvement, which is what I did to fill up the majority of the box. I also added in a cedar garland and laid it all around the window box to fill it in more. Once I was happy with the placement of all the greenery, I decided to add in some gold picks. This window box sits directly under our tree by the window, and it has a gold theme, so since you could see that as well, I wanted to stay consistent. After placing all the picks around the window box, I added in some Christmas lights to give it some extra sparkle at night. I started by wrapping it around the pine tree on the side of the box and going all the way around to the other side with the lights. And now my window box is much more festive and cheerful for the season.
I'm cutting a small pool noodle to the inside length of a window, then slicing one side open so I can slip in a cedar strip. Now I'm painting the pool noodle in a natural shade of evergreen called Bayberry by Fusion Mineral Paint. Next up, I'm collecting all my blue and white Christmas ornaments, then selecting a few to paint in an icy toned blue craft paint. While the paint is still wet, I'm sprinkling on some faux snow so it sticks, then I'm allowing it to dry overnight. Now I'm cutting a piece of cedar strip to the width of my window that will be mounted with 2 open-ended closet dowel brackets. Now I'm positioning the pool noodle onto the wood strip through the cut slits. Now I'm specking out a country road where there's generally wind-blown branches on the ground. Once getting home, I'm shaking the branches outside to knock off any bugs. I'm cutting the larger evergreen branches into smaller bunches. The stems are being cut on an angle, then the bottom needles are being removed to create a poking stick. Now that I'm halfway done, I'm reversing the direction of the uncut side to the right. Now I'm cutting some neutral tone thread into long lengths. To hang the thread, I'm snipping some green Christmas ornament hangers in half, then bending each end to create my own shorter hooks. Since I cut one side of the pool noodles, I'm further securing the weight of the garland on it by screwing the pool noodles to the board. This will help keep the noodles closed once mounted. Since the weight of the garland may turn the garland facing downwards, I'm adding more branches along the top until it's completely filled in. I'm now hanging up the threaded hooks inside the garland, then threading on the ornaments. I'm now adding some fairy lights to the garland so it will illuminate the greenery safely. To winterize the garland, I'm applying short bursts of spray snow to the greenery to give it a fresh fall and snow vibe. And you are left with a gorgeous neutral winter window scene that is perfectly themed to stay up all winter long. The nearly invisible thread gives the blue and white ornaments a really cool snowflake floating effect, further emphasizing a winter wonderland. The spray snow on the garland adds such a whimsical lightness, plus it will help hide the drying out greenery. The windowsill also received a wintry forest scene with bottle brush trees, branches, and faux snow to further the winter theme.
Today I'm going to show you how to make some nice winter planters for your front porch using fresh greenery. And I'm using a planter. I'm recycling it from the summertime. This was once filled with pretty flowers. It's already filled with dirt. That is going to hold my greens in place. I'm using the same planting formula I used when I'm doing my summer planters, which is thriller, filler, and spiller. Right now I'm going to use this common pine as my spiller. It's very flowy and it'll go over the edges of the planter. Now that I have it filled in with the pine, I'm going to start adding some different spruces to give it some more height in the middle. Now that I have all the spruce filled in, I am going to add just a few sprigs of juniper with some pretty blueberries. Now let's go inside and warm up because it is cold. I'm taking some large pine cones that I have, and I grabbed a sturdy stick from my yard, and I'm going to hot glue the stick onto the pine cones, and we're going to put that into the planter. And I made 2 pine cones for each of my planters. And to give the planters a festive look, I have some red winter berries we're going to add right in the middle, just a few sprigs. Now I have some pretty ribbon, and I'm going to make a really simple bow to add to the planter. I'm just making 5 loops, and I'm going to secure them with a pipe cleaner at the bottom. And one more pretty touch I'm going to add. I grabbed some branches from my yard, and I'm giving them a coat of copper spray paint. While I was waiting for the branches to dry, I added a string of lights to my planter, and now I'm just going to pop in those branches. And here's my finished winter planters. I'm Jennifer Howard from Cottage on Bunker Hill. Thank you for watching Home Talk, and I'll see you next time.